That's not me. This is live TV, people.
It's live!
This is the Rushmore Show, where it's all about your top four and nothing more. Kirk, here we are. It's June 7th. What's today? June 7th, yes. And we have got an extra special episode tonight. Very excited. Welcome to everybody who's already joining us in the chat
Man,
tonight.
let's say hello. This is probably the most pre-service messages we've had. Barry's in the house. Retro Maniac, he was on the show last week in the house. Hey, Jeff, how are you doing? Bird is the word. The nerd is in the house. Retro Cannon is not really in the house. He's actually in my house in the bath. But Retro Cannon is here. And DJ Wise says, heck yeah, it's Friday. DJ Wise is on an episode in 2 weeks. But and Karsyn's next week, and she's in Florida. So, man, all my friends, y'all are in there. Welcome to the show. Logan is in the house from the hill. Welcome to the show, man. Look, we've been kind of lurking in Logan's show, but now Logan's coming on the show sometime in June. I'm going to throw some wrenches out to you guys. Everybody, go follow everybody. Go do that. We're a community here. Support everybody, follow everybody. We're going to try and follow and support everybody. If you've got something going on alive or whatever you got, shoot it to us. We'd love to be a part, and we would love to come and support. So anything you got going on, we're kind of all over the place. But 6 folks down in the house. Kenneth Bird. We got more birds in the word here. And we got some nerd in the word later. Alan Williamson's in the house. So 8 folks here. Welcome. Look, tonight we got a great show. We're going, as you know we do. Last week we did inspirational movies. If you haven't checked that out, you're really missing a tearjerker. It was a wonderful time with Jeff and Retro Maniac. And we are finishing up this two-month series of movies and TV. So let me give you what we got today. Today we are going to jump into action movies. But not just the movies, not the actors, but the characters they played. Because we've already done action movies. If you want to see that, it's in the playlist. If you want to see action stars, we've already done that too. Go check that out. But we have a real special guest, which is the reason we decided to do this. Andy, are you excited? Was this hard? I know you were messaging me this morning. This one's kind of, there's a lot. The criteria is important today. Not folks in the house. Criteria is important.
Yeah, I think that what makes this difficult, or could make this difficult, again, to the criteria idea, is what is an action movie and what is not an action movie. Is it just a movie that has some action scenes?
Oh, are we bending the rules today?
No, and we're not. And I think that's what made it more difficult for me. So I'm not going to pull a war movie situation on you guys tonight. Don't worry. But it was a fun list. I will tell you this. I'm already
loving Random Rips. Random Rips. I believe it's Kevin.
Great
Kevin,
list.
I'm already loving his picks. And yeah, say hello to everybody. Go follow everybody. I'm about to hand out some wrenches to anybody that don't need them. So tell me again, Andy.
Yeah, I was just saying, this becomes difficult.
Yeah, Raleigh Fingers. Raleigh Fingers. Welcome to the show.
Yeah.
It's been like that since January or so. Welcome to the show. Now you get to see. But yeah.
Yeah.
It gets difficult with the criteria.
Let me say this real quick. I pulled this up because this helped me. And again, I'll talk about it in criteria. But according to the prestigious source of Wikipedia, just because that's what Google told me first of all, but I think it's a pretty decent definition. The action film is a film genre that predominantly features chase sequences, fights, shootouts, explosions, and stunt work. Right. So just testosterone, adrenaline. It's all about that kind of stuff. So that's kind of what I was thinking. But, you know, in all of that, this has been a ton of fun. So very, very, very excited.
Smash Ventura is in the house. Crass by Bethany. That's DJ's wife. James's wife in the house. Welcome, everybody. We appreciate you all. What's up, Spine Ticks in the house? Everybody go check out Spine Ticks for sure. He's one of our big supporting bros around. He'll be on the show later in August. We can't wait to have that go down. But, man, I love what you guys are doing in the chat. So here's what the rules are. Welcome, welcome, welcome to everybody who is new here. This is for you. Quick little video to let you guys know you're loved, we love you, and we appreciate you. You're a part of the Summit Squad. Being part of Summit Squad, I'm going to hand out some wrenches to everybody and go and talk with everybody and follow everybody. But on top of that, as you follow tonight in our journey, leave your top fours. So, and if you have to go, by all means, drop your whole list. But hang around with us. We're going to talk about, we have a great guest, and we're going to talk about a few things that are coming up. So don't be sure not to miss that. Andy, were you going to say something?
Yeah, I was just going to say, just as a heads up to everybody joining us, I love doing live and having this, but because of ministry and vacation and life, the next 2 weeks, I believe, Kirk, right, are pre-recording. So we won't be live again until I think the end of this month. So very excited that you guys are here. But just so you guys know, we still got some great episodes on the way. You don't want to miss them. That's tons of fun. But we won't be live again until I think the 28th. Is that correct, Kirk?
I'm missing people. I'm seeing people jump in. Kevin, hello. Kevin's been on the show. We got new folks. You just missed your Summit Squad. Vintage is in the house. Vintage. Tomorrow we got a video going out, guys. That is a box opening video. Here are the cards that I got. And I will. We had some other stuff that we also received. I got a slab comic book that's back here. You'll see when I scan out. But that video is coming out tomorrow, showing what we're ripping. And thank you, Vintage Sport Clips, and Paul and Keith and Real Life. You guys are all in that video. That's tomorrow. Please go check that out for us. Boggs is in the house. Luna's in the house. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's get this thing.
While we got 15 people in the chat, let's go ahead and get started with our. Right. Let's get into the Rushmores. What they came for.
Yeah. So
let's do it.
Today's episode is the Rushmore of action characters. Let's get it.
All right, we got a great episode tonight, Kirk. You've already kind of said it. If you've read the description, if you've seen the post, who we got coming on tonight to talk about action movie characters.
So today, the action movie guest is going to be someone who is actually filming an action movie. It is someone that we have met at these conventions. We've been welcomed to several conventions. If you got a convention going on, welcome us over. We would love to hang out and join and MC for you or do whatever you need. But we've met this guy now 3-4 times, and he is New Orleans' very first superhero. The reason he goes by that is because he's designed his own comic book and setting up the movie. Welcome to the show, Dopesmack's alter ego. It's Joe Mexican to the house. Welcome, Joe. Joe, come on the stage, dude.
Can you see me? There we go.
Welcome,
I thought you forgot to press a button. How y'all doing, everybody?
Oh, man, we are fire. Look at this comment section going on. Luna in the house. Genesis. Hey, Genesis. Genesis is one of my old students. Oh, not both students, but my students. And Ben, which is Smash Ventura. All those guys are going to be on the show. Now, look, Joe, tell me about you. Tell me about Dopesmack. Tell me about the project. What inspired you, and how people can like support you.
All right. Well, shoot, what inspired me? I've been in the movie business for 21 years now, and I actually I've been working for a bunch of people, making them a bunch of money, doing all their creative endeavors, and I never was able to do my own until I started writing. I actually wrote another script before Dopesmack, but a friend of mine came to me and said, "Hey, I got this superhero film I want to do," and that kind of inspired me to write my own. And I took a lot of inspiration from this script. His name is Kikala Giallo, and he's like the co-writer of Dopesmack with me. Big shout out to Kikala. And so, Kikala! Yes, sir. I mean, he's probably not watching, man. He's never online.
We'll get him to watch. We'll get him.
Yeah, I'll get him on board. He's been to some cons with me, man. He's a great guy, very talented writer. And he came to me, and I was like, man, his film was totally the opposite of what I wanted to do. It was a really street film, and I decided to turn it around. And instead of, his character was a guy that was a superhero that was doing drugs. And so I was like, you know what? I can't film that. I got kids. That's not my type of hero. So being that I'm like a super fan of Spider-Man and Batman and all that stuff, and going to New Orleans and knowing that New Orleans is kind of like Gotham City, I was like, man, I got to do a guy that's going to go against drug dealers, and that's how Dopesmack came about.
I love that, man. I will tell you, look, it's right here. It's right here. I got the autographed copy at the last con.
And my autographed copy is in the other room in Cannon's room.
Yeah, this is fantastic. Let me tell you this again. Joe, I don't know if I told you this in the last one. I didn't grow up as a comic book kid. I was always like action figures. Like that. I was like, I don't want to read. Whatever. I mean, it was cool and I appreciate it. But so I don't have a ton of these. In fact, I have the Dopesmack comic, and then I have a bunch of Kiss comics. That's about all I have. But this is fantastic. Read through this thing. It's super awesome. Looking forward to all the other future projects and stuff that you got coming out. But this, guys, if you don't already have this, I mean, you definitely want to support this and check this stuff out. So how can they support you?
The convention. How can they pick up a copy?
Well, if they go to darkatomstudios.com, Atom with a T, you can pick them up from there. If you want to get a copy shipped for free, you can actually pick it up on TikTok. TikTok has this thing where they actually give you 45% off, and they pay for the shipping. So if you have a TikTok, just go to the shop, the Dopesmack shop on TikTok, and pick up a copy, and you'll get it shipped free, and you'll get 45% off. So
nice.
It's almost $5 off from the copy.
Yeah,
dude, I'm loving what's going on in the chat. We got jokes. Farrell said, "Hello, Genesis. I'm Super Nintendo." That's great. And then also Barry says, "Drew, superhero." I can't deny that. Logan's out. Logan, thank you for being here. Barry's cracking jokes. He's dropping game shows. Smash says, "Love the positive message, Joe." Same here, Andy. I appreciate it, comics, but also an action figure guy. So I dropped Dark Atom Studios in the chat if you guys want to go and find that, as well as you guys having opportunity with the wrenches. Go and follow everybody. You can just right click if you're on your phone and support, as well as just asking questions and go and see what everybody else's show is. Now, with that being said, let's get where we're going. We asked you to come on board. We're like, you're a superhero. Well, I've asked you about action people before. And we're like, well, what are we going to do? I said, how about action characters, since we've already done movies and the actual stars? And you were like, cool, let's do it. So you're going to start. The first one is Rosie. Rosie, for all you friends out there, we have nicknames that go along with the Mount Rushmore. And we consider Mount Rushmore a top 4 of presidents. Not the top 4, a top 4. And this is going to be a top 4. And we figure that the Rushmores are subjective, not objective, because they're subjective to who you are, where you were raised, who your parents are, what your nationality is, how old you are, all these different things. And I always like to say it this way. We already mentioned Drew Brees in the comments. Most people in New Orleans, unless you're a transient, do not like Tom Brady, do not like Aaron Rodgers, do not like the big GOAT names. They like probably first Drew Brees, then Peyton Manning, maybe Eli Manning because he's from New Orleans and beat Tom Brady, and then going down the list. So what is your top 4 criteria tonight, which helps you kind of navigate your list to be your favorites? Let them know, and then we'll get started with your roast.
All right. Well, first of all, this is a funny thing is whenever I was writing Dopesmack, the main character's actual name is Alex Santos, you know, and I never really thought about it. I had like a list of 50 names that I was like, man, you know, which one sounds like the name of the character that's Dopesmack's alter ego. And Alex Santos was the one that just popped whenever I put it on paper. I was like, Alex Santos, that's the name. And, you know, one of my best friends, he's a super, you know, just like everybody in Louisiana, we're just super fans of the Saints. And he was like, bro, Alex Santos, that goes perfectly with New Orleans because Alex Santos means Saints. So it just,
there you go. I love
there
it.
you go.
Oh, yeah.
So it's all tying in, you know, it all fell in part. So back to the main question. So my criteria was things that inspired me when I was a kid. Some of the, you know, some of those things that stayed with me up till this day that inspire me to create all this content, all these movies and all the, you know, things that I do.
I love that. I love that.
I absolutely love that. And I see somebody said Archie Manning. Hey, Barry, Kevin. No, Barry. I will say this. Random Rips is Kevin. I met Archie Manning and Peyton Manning, and actually I played against Peyton Manning in baseball, and because I'm in between them in age, and Archie Manning used to come to every single game, and he'd sign every kid's glove. I probably had like 7 gloves in a row signed by Archie. Great family in the New Orleans area. They're so supportive of our city, except they don't want to go to any of the colleges in our city. They just want to send their kids elsewhere. But with that being said, I love this pick. And the names, and I love your criteria. What is your Rosie? Rosie is Roosevelt. We consider him the 4th on the mountain, significant wise, but somebody else might put him up higher. What is your number 4? It's like the line in the sand. We're about to climb the mountain.
I think I'm going to have to go with Indiana Jones. Because, yes, Indiana Jones, you know, everyone knows, played by Harrison Ford. Raiders of the Lost Ark came out in 1981. And I was probably like 3 years old by then. But, you know, a few years later, I was just amazed with, you know, this is some of the first special effects movies that I had witnessed as a child. So it just stuck with me to this day.
That is a fantastic pick.
I am interested where we're going because, man, Indiana Jones is a stellar pick. Harrison Ford is fantastic. You go back to our action stars and our action movies. Harrison Ford showed up on both of those. So we love that. We love this. Actually, Indiana also showed up on our franchises episode. So we are Indiana Jones fans here, and we love that. We love that you picked him. Andy, you're an Indy fan, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, for sure. And I think we even, I don't know if it made the mountain, but it absolutely was talked about when we talked about soundtracks because we talked about John Williams quite a bit. And
then, where's my Disney friends at? I mean, every time I go there, I got to go and watch the show, even though I know what's going on. And not the last time, but the second to last time that I went, my daughter was actually one of the people on the show, like one of the people they pull out in the audience, which is cool. I love Indy. I want a whip. I used to have a whip when I was a kid, but I could never flick it like he does and swing and all that. And cool start.
Yeah.
I will also say this, Andy. When I was a kid, I thought archaeology was a much bigger thing.
Just digging up dinosaur bones all the time, man. You know,
I mean, like, it just looks like, you know, you got like be a professional football player, be an astronaut, go be an archaeologist. I mean, it's crazy. But yeah, it's a great pick, man. Good start. Good start.
Well, I appreciate it.
Way to go, man. I love that pick. I love that. So
Andy, it's still my turn in the middle, right?
Nope, it's still my turn. I've been in the middle.
You're in the middle. I'm getting old.
I'm in the middle for the rest of June. Next month we're gonna start our next series, and that's when I'll be at the end. But right now, I do want to highlight a couple of these things. Jeff came in and had a great quote. He said, "Joe didn't come in to hit singles; he's hitting dingers." I love that one. I love that. You know, he also said that his Rosie is Jack Slater from Last Action Hero. Way to go! There's the game.
I had that one.
You with my video game behind me. It's Last Action Hero from the NES. Did I influence you at all? Maybe.
There's a lot of good stuff in here. Making Sean Connery his dad was a stroke of genius. I agree. It's a great cast there.
That was my favorite.
Can I like Joe Montana? You know, you could.
Francisco's in the house. Francisco, welcome to the show. Francisco is a part of our bros up here at Culture Box, right above my head. Go support Francisco. He is the Retro Rewind podcast. We're going to share somebody here after our second pick and hang around and see we got going on with those friends.
Yes.
In the house. So you're up, Andy. What's your criteria?
All right. So criteria, big part for me was figuring out, first of all, what is actually an action movie, right? There's plenty of movies that have action sequences that I don't know if I'm jumping to them as an action movie, right? I feel like the movie has to be predominantly based around that. Not necessarily, in my opinion, that it has to be balls to the wall, just throttle the whole time. Like, doesn't have to be Expendables, right, to be an action movie. Now, that is absolutely an action movie, but there can be some subtlety to it. But there's a lot of different things that go into this. So my 4 characters today really come kind of from 4, I guess, different aspects of the action genre, right? And there's more than 4, right? You know, aspects of that genre. So I did that, but just like yours, Joe, to me, watching these movies as a kid, did I have scenes where I was like Leonardo DiCaprio in that GIF that we point out all the time, where he's like, you know, in his couch pointing up, like just so excited, like jaw dropping, just amazing stuff. And all 4 of these are just culturally iconic, right? I mean, they've stood the test of time. They've been in, series of movies. So this was not just kind of a one and done situation, right? So all of that to say, my top 4 just kind of gave me just, you know, if I could be that person in an action movie, it was like, it's every, you know, boy's dream to kind of be in these kinds of movies. So inspiring me as a kid, but I'm going to go ahead and start, and I will agree, Joe, that you started off hot, but I'm going to come in hot too, man. We're not holding any punches, man. We're hitting dingers in the top of the first, because we don't care. We're just going to keep it going. We're running up the score. It's not our job to score for the other team. We're doing this. And my number 4, my Rosie, coming in hot, James Bond. Give me James Bond right off the top. I got to go with James Bond. And again, because, again, you know, you talk about longevity of a character, right? James Bond in itself was not just, you know, not even just a series of movies. This has been a lifetime of movies. The amount of actors that have played James Bond. But, I mean, This goes all the way back. He was written in 1953 as a character in a book, Casino Royale. So like the 1953 to it's still happening today. I think that James Bond, to my criteria of saying that this does not have to be like explosions all the time. Now they happen, right? This does not have to be car chases. They happen. He has every element, I believe, of an action movie is found somewhere in a James Bond movie, right? You talk about, again, as a 90s, 2000s kid, Pierce Brosnan was my 007, right? He was my guy. I just kind of what I thought. But I will tell you this. I really enjoy Daniel Craig as James Bond. I think he's fantastic. I think he was one of my favorites in that. But, I mean, again, I had to throw this in there, too. I'm an N64 guy. GoldenEye 007. I mean, just not only did it's just become a cultural icon. How many people quote, like, Bond, James Bond, like those things, shaken, not stirred, like all of these types of things that happen. And I had to come in hot with James Bond. He is the man's man. He is just, he can put on a suit and he can kill you in the next second. So he's just, it's fantastic. I love James Bond. He's my Rosie.
Bro, yeah. So we got Smash says home run right off the bat. We got Disney fan not here, Francisco. Yeah, I know. Francisco must be catching up because we were talking about being at Disney. Well, we'll see Francisco when he gets here. But yeah, there's some great Bond, just memorabilia, television, movies, the video game. Now, I will say this, he's on my Benjamins. He's not on my list because, one, as long as this has been going on, it is not something when it comes out that I go, oh, gosh, I got to go see the new Bond. I'm just not that guy. But when it comes out, say, like on Netflix or whatever, and I'm flipping through it, I'm like, oh, I haven't seen this one yet. I'll throw it on, and it's always a fantastic movie. So right. He's on my Benjamins. He's just not a top 4 guy for me because I'm more nostalgic, honestly, to his video game. And I found out that I'm way worse in his video game nowadays than I am when I was as a kid.
And his video game is pure nostalgia, does not hold up today. Unfortunately, doesn't. But it still gets its props. I think somebody in here said legacy pick. This is, I believe, a legacy pick here. I mean, Indiana could be a legacy pick too, for sure. But yeah. What's he say? Vintage says, I was never a huge Bond fan, but the legend and longevity puts him in the. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, how do you have a mountain of action heroes and not mention Bond somewhere? At least in your Benjamins, feels like he needs to be in there.
He never even crossed my mind.
Oh,
never even crossed my mind. I don't know. I wasn't a big, James Bond fan. I don't know.
I think the spy element side of things.
I mean, he got the ladies. He's the spy.
Yeah.
If I was to pick my favorite Bond, Pierce Brosnan would be my window, but Sean Connery's definitely my guy. And man, I see some likes happening. Guys, if you're on Facebook, jump on over to the YouTube side if you can and come and join us. If not, man, hit the likes and subscribes. That will help the algorithm. But I will say this. Bond is, like everybody's saying, absolutely top tier. If we go just goats, not personal anything in there, he should probably be on the list, at least influencing the list. So I love that.
I can agree with that.
Yeah. I will say this though. As I jump into mine, my number 4. My number 4, first and foremost, Blocky Kid. You asked about Goku. Well, that's a part of my criteria. My criteria today, and I was trying to slim it down because there's so many good action heroes. I first went to the action movies I picked, and then I went to the action stars I picked, and then I went to the franchises and whatnot. I always go to AI, and I go to Google, and I try and find lists that they got going on, and I kind of curate my list. And when I realized, gosh, how can I pick between say Indiana Jones and James Bond or whatever, I had to do one thing. The very first thing I did was I eliminated everything that wasn't a movie first. Like, it was inspired by a movie. So action movie star, not an action comic book guy that made a movie, if you get what I'm saying. And I think Goku probably started out as cartoon. I don't know what, I don't know. But I know he's Dragon Ball Z. I don't know if there was a movie first. I'm not going to mince with that. But if you want to put him, it's your criteria. And that's how our show works. So that's the first thing. The second thing in my top 4, I'm nostalgic for all. If you've been here long enough, I'm an 80s guy. Andy's a 90s guy because we're about 10 years apart. And I land in that 80s side. So most of my guys are coming out of that area, either 80s, mid 90s, because that meant what, when I think back, I'm like, yeah, this is what meant something. The very last thing is I wanted to, when I thought about these guys and kind of thinking deeply, these are guys that I would have wanted to play if I was an actor, right? I think these guys are just really cool. So my very first one should not be a surprise, Andy. It might be a surprise. It's at number 4. I've mentioned this movie a bazillion times. And honestly, this particular actor has way more action stars than I want to think about. And I could have picked a whole list of just him, to be honest. But I'm going to go with my first pick. I'm going Neo from The Matrix. I'm going Neo from The Matrix. Here's the thing. When I went to the Air Force, when I was in the military, I had about 5 DVDs. This was one of them. It constantly played in the black background all day long. I probably knew it word for word, just like brushing my teeth, taking a shower, whatever. I always heard this. This was the running theme music in my room, early military time. Sci-fi is my jam, especially this. And Keanu Reeves is an underrated action star. We automatically think Bill and Ted. We automatically think the surfer guy, the kind of dumb. But, man, he has done a lot of good action stuff. And I got a lot on my Benjamins if they're not selected. So, but Neo, man, I love the whole idea of this movie. And honestly, what's funny is how art becomes reality, if you will, and how sometimes people want to make art reality. And, as pastors and ministers, I always happen, because I'm a Matrix guy, and I kind of seen whatever the algorithm will throw that into my shorts every once in a while. And it never fails. Somebody out there is always trying to say that we're literally in a Matrix right now. And just the idea of hearing that, and then you just, things that make you say, and you just think about it, it kind of twists your brain a little bit. I mean, that it could possibly be a computer reality. I mean, like, that's just crazy to even think. But what that says to me is it was such a well-written story. And I love the Neo character. He's a nobody. Neo, number 1, and it just turns into just an amazing superhero. So I'm going to nail out my very first, my Rosie, Line in the Sand, one of my favorite movies of all time. That's how we're going today, Neo.
That's a great pick. You took a Benjamin away from me. I wanted to get him on there. But here's the deal, Keanu Reeves, man, let's go for it. Let's give Keanu the props he deserves.
I'm here for it, man. If we do all-time actors, he's on my list. Don't know where, but he's at least I'm talking about. It's so fantastic. I hear a couple grumblings. I see a lot in the list over there. Joe,
yes,
you like Matrix?
I love the Matrix. Yes, it's pretty hard. It was very innovative, I guess. Whenever I'm talking about special effects and how Indiana Jones just changed the game for me whenever I watched it, because all the things that were happening in it, but the Matrix just took it to another level. It's like the opening of all the special effects that were actually not to
Yeah.
say like Jurassic Park. I mean, Jurassic Park was just a huge leap forward, but then the Matrix came and it was like, the bullets flying, and it was and very entertaining, man. I don't think I even blinked when I was watching that movie. Sure.
Yeah, they're all good.
I think like the whole series. The rest of the series kind of gets a bad rap from some folks, but I like the whole thing. I even like the new one they just put out. What was it, on Hulu or Netflix?
I haven't watched that yet.
Animatrix.
Yeah. The Animatrix is really good.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, cool concept. Blocky Kid, you might have disappeared when I said it earlier. Mellow Dope in the house. Welcome, Mellow Dope. Inception. Yeah.
I will say this. The Matrix, was it Reloaded? The one that had the twins? That was a fantastic movie. At least that car chase scene in that. Those twins were amazing characters. The car chase scene with them is just wild. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm here for the whole Matrix.
Mellow Dope says Matrix changed the whole game.
Yeah.
Kojira, the Matrix makes my back hurt with that scene. Yeah. Nikki 2 times in the house. Oh, wait, it jumped. Nikki 2 times. I'll be shocked if any of you have this as your pick, but Ash Williams. Yeah, I'll say this. We've talked about Ash Williams before, so it wouldn't be a big surprise. We've had a few guests kind of chat about him, but my list is pretty stout today. So Arnold, Predator. Yeah, of course. Stallone, Rambo. Those are great.
Kirk, I think your student Genesis wants a shout out. I think she wants a shout out.
Everybody, this is Genesis. We call her anything that's not Genesis, like Gennardo or Genevieve. But she's really trouble number 1. So there you go, Genesis. There's your shout out. Mellow Dope. Prayers. Yeah. But Inception's a great movie. So that's our first. Rosie, Now we're moving on. TJ Jazzy Jeff. TJ Jazzy Jeff. That's a fun name for
Thomas Jefferson.
But
it's in my turn now.
Will Smith was with DJ Jazzy Jeff.
Right.
He's a big action star. Might be a good time to hit one out right here. What you got for your number 3 on the mountain?
Oh man, it might come to some surprise, but I did have Neo as my number.
Nice.
Yes. So you got a Rushmore, yes.
Oh, we got a Rushmore, ladies and gentlemen.
Nice. What you like about Neo?
I had a feeling. I had a feeling you were going to bring him on when you were kind of fumbling around and like, I don't want to. So tell us about Neo. What do you like about it?
Well, like I said before, he was just a game changer. He literally, just special effects changed the game. But not only that, the story behind it, not just because it was just something different about it that you just didn't see everywhere. And it opened up a Pandora's box of all of those conspiracy theories. Not that I am a conspiracy theorist myself, but I think that it was so different that it literally changed the culture in the United States. It's just people just started really thinking, oh damn, maybe we are in a Matrix. But none of that, other than that, I love Keanu Reeves, always did. I think, maybe he might not be a Oscar-winning actor, but he's so entertaining to watch. And the Matrix, Neo.
I'll fight that, though. I'll fight that. I think he's moving into that Oscar realm. He has grown as an actor in all of his latest roles. I don't necessarily see, Bill and Ted anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I want to share, Blocky, if you're still here, I already talked about this. You've mentioned it again. It's your crush. I mean, it's your criteria. If you want to pick some guys from anime that are anime movies, by all means, man, it's your deal. And on top of that, a Crushmore, Blocky, is when people on the panel match. And so if we match something with somebody, it's called a Rushmore. And so most of us will match with people in the comments because there's so many of you guys chatting, and we love that. So thank you. But a Rushmore is when we match. Movies like Blade and Matrix grew up that whole culture in how people dress when they went out clubbing. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, all right. So I love this, man. Rushmore, way to go. Honestly, it's been on many of my mountains. I'm excited that you picked it. Now, Andy, who's number 2 for you?
Dude, I'm telling you what, I'm not holding any punches today. I came today. I chose violence today.
Oh,
okay. No, all of these, none of these picks are going to be controversial. I don't believe. These are just bangers of action movie characters, but I couldn't get past it, right? And I did. I'm glad you highlighted that. It's when they run out of Orange Crush. Use more crush more, please. Anyway, so I dressed to go to church. There you go. Anyway, so these are bangers of action characters without a doubt. These guys had to make the list, but again, this movie, the original one, was 1984. So again, it was before my time, but I mean, I'm definitely watching these as a kid. You can't get through this without just picking this guy. I'm going with the Terminator. I'm going with the T-800. Give me Arnie. This is
my 800, not 1,000, not 1,100.
I'm going to go with Arnie. I'm going to go with the OG, the original, just because this is what started it all. Again, all of these like Terminators, right? Whatever model you found it in is fantastic. I mean, it's just amazing. But if I had to pick it down to one guy, I'm going to go with Arnold. I'm not saying Arnold Palmer, Arnold Schwarzenegger here. But dude, so many amazing things here. What I'll say about this movie and the whole Skynet idea is that, again, 1984, like we're hearing this stuff, but we're living this kind of AI.
Okay, Matrix, Terminator, art becomes reality.
Yeah, all this kind of stuff happens. But dude, this guy right here, I'll be back. Like, how do you, as a boy, like, how many times have you quoted this stuff? And last thing I want to say about this, it's just a fantastic guy. This pick is, I had to go with Schwarzenegger here with Terminator. But if you've never listened to it, I highly suggest go check out. There's this band called As I Lay Dying. Okay, they were a Christian metal band. There was a lot of controversy, all that kind of stuff. Still put out awesome music, but they had a side project called Austrian Death Machine, and all it is a concept of it's Arnold Schwarzenegger metal, and they sing like it's Arnold. They have a song called Get to the Chopper. It's so good. Anyway, that's a side note. Go check out Austrian Death Machine, probably on Spotify and things like that. But anyway, the 800. This is the guy. This is that. You see that opening scene when he comes in naked and everything. That's always fun. But I had to pick this one. And again, I could have picked a lot of different models, right? You could have picked 1,000. You could do the shape shift and the kind of liquidy, looks like a Capri Sun commercial. You could have done any of these different guys. The X, Rev 9. You could have done all these different things. But this is another one too, where this concept and series of movies has gone over time. Like, we had multiple movies. We've had novels. We've comic books. We've had TV show stuff, crossover kind of stuff. I have to pick the Terminator.
The Terminator.
Love it.
See, my little thing says I'll be back. I knew this was going to make it on the mountain today. It is probably my first Benjamin. Well, it would have been in my first round or two if it was still available. But I love this pick. Iconic. Again, like I said, art follows reality. Like Star Trek with the flip phones, Back to the Future with what we're doing right now. I mean, it happens all the time, and we.
It makes you think. It makes you think. Are there any people here today from 45 years in the future? Because it's also funny. It was 2029 that he came from. We're not far from 2029. You know what I mean? Like,
I love that when the movie is like 2015. Like, I think RoboCop was not very far down the future. Judge Dredd, but all those movies were like not very far down the future. Now, if you get like an Aliens movie or whatever, sometimes it's like 2300, but most of them are like 20 years up the road. If there was no Terminator, we wouldn't have the Sherman. The Shermanator.
Also, a friend of mine at the church bought me a T-shirt that says, because I'm a preacher, that says the Sermonator. I wear that.
Shirt.
I wear that pretty often. So
Joe, do you like the Terminator?
I love the Terminator. It's one of those films from my childhood as well. I should have probably shouldn't have been watching it, but I don't even know how I ended up watching that one. Yeah.
Let's be honest. Okay, so we're about to talk a little bit in a few seconds about some of those themes. But when I was a kid, rated R wasn't what rated R is today.
Right,
and my parents, I had cable in my television, in my room at all times. And I remember my parents coming in and be like, "What are you watching? Turn that off." They didn't take the cable out. They just said, "Turn that off." And what happens when they leave? You turn it back on.
Yeah.
And whether it's, the violence, the cursing, or of course the sex. And what an influence that was. And nowadays we are bubble wrapping kids. And I'm going to tell you, whenever that kind of thing happens in my house, like you said, Joe, it's obviously a conversation, but I go a little deeper than turn that off. I go, so what makes you want to watch that? What's going on? And just have a conversation, because I know when I leave and I'm not here, you're going to put it back on. Exactly. I mean, like, it's just the nature of children, especially as they get older in the teenage world. But we probably shouldn't have watched it. I mean, but we did. And the 80s were awesome. The 90s were awesome. And we did.
I wish I had that time machine so I can go back to the 80s.
That is, by the way, one of the topics we want to do on this show. If you had a time machine, what are the top 4 things? That's a nostalgia topic that I've been kind of fumbling around that I forgot.
Yeah, that's a good topic.
Oh, you want to see the front of the hat? Well, it's the Major League leading AL East division leading New York Yankees, but it matches the Rushmore Show colors. So, yeah, there you go. I know you guys don't like that.
I got the 2002 World Series Angels cap.
Hey,
02.
And we swept the Angels a couple days ago.
A lot of people are doing that nowadays. It just is what it is with the Angels. Yeah. But
Mike Trout's gone. Ohtani's gone. Well, look, here we are. And it's my turn to finish up our mountain. And I'm not even prepared because I jumped off my notes talking and trying to jump into the live. Let me pull these notes back up again and see where we're at. Yeah. So I'm going to go, and this might shock you too, Andy. This might really shock you. What did you say was the main part of an action movie? Do you have that again?
Give me a second, and it'll come right back up.
Fast driving, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you had fight scenes.
Fighting. It had car chase. It had explosions, fights, shootouts.
Well, let me ask you. Would I didn't hear in that lingo spaceships, but I'm going Luke Skywalker, the Jedi himself, buddy. I'm going with the Jedi, Star Wars, Luke. And I'm going to tell you, we've got General Kenobi coming on the show in about 3 weeks. And right after we have our 2 breaks, and General Kenobi's channel, General Kenobi's Bunker. Go follow it. Go over there. He has got like 5,000 subscribers over the last 3 weeks. It's insane. Go over there and follow him. I'm going with Luke Skywalker. I almost took his dad. Yeah, I know. But to me, when I was a kid, go back to nostalgia me. Who would I want to play? I'd want the green saber. I'd want to fight Darth Vader. I want to learn the Force from Yoda. I am just a huge Star Wars bro. I love this franchise. And one of my favorite things when I went to Disney was going to the new Star Wars stuff. I'm going with that one. I could have picked a lot of people, a lot of villains, but I'm going with the main guy, the real deal, Luke.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I just never thought of Star Wars as being so action-packed. It was too much politics in it, you know? When I was a kid, it kind of...
What did he say? He said fight scenes. He said explosions. He said, what else did you say? Car chasing, but we don't know car chasing.
I mean, there's a pod race. There's pod racing.
There's pod racing.
No, well, that's on
so
episode one.
It's science fiction opera, to be honest, but it is definitely an action.
It's
and
definitely.
If Andy can have it as a war movie,
I can say it's a little action.
As a war movie because it says Star Wars.
It doesn't say star action.
More politics and the action was about right here and all the politics. And when I was a kid, I couldn't sit down and watch the whole Star Wars movies.
Duel of Fates, when that thing comes on and you're watching Darth Maul fight Kenobi, I mean, please, done.
Yeah.
Done.
Here's the thing. Yeah, I like this pick. I eliminated this kind of guy from my criteria for just whatever reasons, because I could have easily. And I'm also saving a lot of Jedi, right? Because in a couple of weeks, like we mentioned, we're talking about it, so I'm trying to save a little bit of that.
Jedi, you should watch The Acolyte, who just came out, because I mean it's talking about saving some Jedi. And speaking of that, my plan is our next Nerd in the Word, or one of the next, is going to be some of that Acolyte stuff coming up.
Nice.
If you guys are interested in that, it'll be out probably in the next Sunday or so. But yeah, I'm going with Samson in the Book of Judges.
Listen. I mean, there's probably a movie out there on that, but I could go for like a gritty Book of Judges. Now,
hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second.
Oh, he went away. Anyway, we'll delay. I don't. He's walking away here.
He got mad because I didn't like his pick. Sorry, guys.
I'll say this: I like Star Wars. But I just want to know, like in the comments, if you're here, are you calling this an action movie? I don't disagree. I think it's a good pick in this, right? But I was going more kind of what we all think of. I know why you did it.
It's an action movie. Lisa, no. Jar Jar.
Funny story about Jar Jar. Funny story about Jar Jar. I had at Albertsons. Now I don't know if that's registers with people, but grocery store here. Back when episode 1 came out, at our local Albertsons, they were doing a giveaway deal, and they had these life-size Star Wars like mannequin, like just big, recreations of this, right? There was like Yoda, there was Darth Maul, and there was Jar Jar. And I was like, yeah, well, I mean, literally all you did was write your name on this little piece of paper, drop it in a box. If you pull, you win. We never win anything. We won Jar Jar Binks. So for like 15 years of my childhood, we had a 7-foot Jar Jar Binks in our garage. Let me tell you, our neighborhood did a Mardi Gras parade every year. Like we would get people get trailers, people walk, whatever, and we put Jar Jar on the back of a trailer, and he was like literally like a life-size Jar Jar. It was crazy, and we wound up being like the #1 float every year because we had Jar Jar.
I'm here for it, Zach. I still have my Mountain Dew can with the Jar Jar on it. Hey, look, Cannon. Genesis is in the chat. Genesis Retro Cannon up in the chat is Cannon. But yeah, Kirk wanted to be different. Yeah, he's definitely different. I'm always trying to.
Normally it's me.
Normally it's I mean, look, who's the one wearing "Suns Out, Guns Out" tonight? So
look at that right there. Louisiana.
Hey, wait. Let me ask you this real quick. We got 12 people in the comments. Hey guys, the end of this or the beginning of next month, July 5th, I believe, 4th and 5th, 5th and 6th, something like that, is Siege, Southeast Gaming Exchange. You guys are up and around Greenville, South Carolina. Cannon and I will be over there. Blocky Kid, I believe you and your dad are going to be there, and we're going to meet up for the Wii. Hopefully you come with me. because Cannon's coming with me. You guys can hang out and meet again. But yeah, Southeast Gaming Exchange. If anybody's around there, let me know and come and hang out. But that's the first half of our mountain. I knew I would get some haterade. But let's
I'm not
jump
hating. I'm not
into
hating.
our commercial time. And this is halftime. We always do a couple commercials. There's 13 of you. We're going to see how many of you hang around after the commercials. Nobody likes commercials, so you usually dip. But these commercials are really important to us. So a couple things is, number one, we are obviously the Rushmore Show, but more importantly, not just the Rushmore Show. We are doing, we're both youth pastors. We grew up in the world. I'm talking about having, HBO in my bedroom when I was like 9. I get it. I did all those things. Met Jesus. Talked about it last week on our show. If you want to hear part of my story, it's last week. If you want to hear my whole story, it's actually in one of the playlists on somebody else's channel. It says where we are on other people's channels. You can find it down there. But I'm going to write a book eventually about it. It's awesome. But look, Andy and I are both youth pastors. We didn't start this way, but we're definitely going to finish this way. And we know the ending at hand. And one of the things that we love is to go to these conventions like Siege. And I don't have any skin in the game for Siege. I'm just going to meet people, to network, to buy a few video games, and to go high five a bunch of YouTubers that are out there, video game YouTubers, invite them to our show in January. But I'm going to say this. We're going to Louisiana RetroCon next year and St. Tammany CollectCon, and we are doing what we call Reboot, which is right here. And Reboot is our ministry to the geeks, the nerds, the gamers, the dweebs, the whatever it is, the weebs. Listen, we are out there for you. And everybody has their own bit of fandom. And with our bro, Dopesmack on the day, many of us are superhero guys. And I'm a comic guy. I love comics. I lost most of my comics in Hurricane Katrina, but I'm building that back up. And with that being said, if you're showing up to the comics to come in, let me show what I got, bro. Look at that. 9.8. That was one of my gifts, bro. Check that video out tomorrow. But if you're coming to pick up stuff like this or the video games, we're going to be there doing church. And when I mean doing church, we're going to give you a geeky message that Sunday, maybe Saturday afternoon at both St. Tammany Collectors Con and at Louisiana RetroCon and any other convention that we can find time to make our way there, and they welcome us. And this is our little commercial for that.
Prepare to make the jump to light speed.
They're getting closer.
Oh, yeah? Watch this.
Also, on top of that, we are starting to drop on Sundays a little bit of Nerd in the Word. Nerd in the Word is when we take things that are out there like Acolyte, and Andy did X-Men 97, and we've done Five Nights at Freddy's and things. And we're going to take things that are out in the pop culture world that are kind of happening, and we're going to take that and formulate it into a message. Dude, if you are looking for a church, if you're looking for a friend, you can always drop a prayer request in our messages. You can always do that. It is 100% welcomed. Leave the prayer request down here for us. We will pray for you. We'll stop the stream if it's something we need to pray for urgently. We would definitely pray for you. And on top of that, if you need someone to talk to, maybe you're going through a divorce, maybe you're going through a couple other things, you need some counseling for your kids or whatever. We are not licensed on a medical level, but we're licensed on a spiritual level. We can always give you some advice, and talk with you, pray with you. The best way to do that is to go to our socials. They've been running down here all time. The Discord, I wish we were better at Discord. We're starting to kind of build that up, but the Discord's probably the best place to go because you can talk real time. You can find us on all the socials. Do that. And Andy, think it's time to share with the world some of our Culture Box bros. Who do you have that you would love to share today?
Well, we got a fresh batch of some new recorded commercials that we did this week. And we want to highlight our friends that have been a huge inspiration to us to do the Nerd and the Word stuff. Let's share our friends from Geek Devotionals.
Geek Devotions is a collaboration of devoted geeks that are devoted to letting people know that they are loved. They produce a weekly geek culture infused devotional, their podcast content, and written articles, all designed to encourage and challenge people in the geek community, bridging the gap between their faith and their geekdoms. Find all their content at geekdevotions.com.
There it is. Go check out geekdevotions.com. Let them know that the Rushmore Show sent you.
And tell them that you know that you are loved. So now we're time to start the second half of the mount. Let's finish this thing off right. Joe, you're up. This is Link. Who do you have on your Link?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Do you know this character named Kato?
You talking? You talking? Green Hornet?
The Green Hornet, yes, baby.
Let's
That was played by none other than Bruce Lee. It's one of the first TV shows that I ever watched, besides the Dukes of Hazzard. I remember as a kid watching that show and just being entertained like crazy. Every time, you know, I was watching it in Spanish, by the way, because I was in Mexico, and I was watching it on a little screen TV, like about this big. Me and my brother would just sit in front of it. It was black and white, and we would watch the Green Hornet and the Dukes of Hazzard. But you know, that's where I was introduced to Bruce Lee, and then I just became a mega fan. I think Bruce Lee is one of the reasons why I joined all the martial arts classes. You know, I learned all kind of techniques when I was a kid, and he was my whole inspiration back then. Yep.
Nice. I'll say,
are you a martial arts guy, Dopesmack? Are you a martial arts guy? I mean, I know you're kind of doing the superhero thing, but is that something you kind of?
Well, the character himself is not like this martial arts guy. There's not a lot of martial arts in there. It's more like brute power and superpowers type thing. But you know, I've always been interested. I still am. I don't practice it now, and I wish I did, because I can barely touch my toes now. But you know, when I was in martial arts, I could, I was probably about 6 inches from doing a full split when I stopped doing martial arts, and I took Lima Lama, which I've never heard of that here in the United States. Lima Lama, and I took Ninjutsu, which was Frank Duke's martial arts, Ninjutsu Duke's Ryu, and it was like the art of the ninja. So, and Frank Dukes was, one of those inspirations as well. So,
yeah, this is a good
away all the picks with the Frank Dukes.
This is a good pick. This came out. This honestly, for me,
Frank
came out of
been
left
on my
field.
show a couple times. So yeah, love it.
Yeah, this one came out of left field for me. This is a great pick. I think that though, looking this up and kind of getting a little backstory real quick, this might be a more legacy pick than James Bond, because 1936 this character was written. Wow, what a long time.
Yeah, I think the show itself was like, I never saw the script or no, but I think the show was out in like 1966. It was before I was born, for sure.
In 66, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they've had a lot of iterations since then.
Mm-hmm.
I knew of Green Hornet, the like old rendition, reintroduced when I was in my local LCS, local comic shop.
Mm-hmm.
I saw some Green Hornet stuff, picked them up for real cheap when I was a kid. I had a couple of Green Hornet comics, and kind of got reintroduced a little bit. But the last Seth Rogen movie, dude, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. It's one of those. It's kind of it's kind of campy, it's kind of indie flick, it's kind of a cult classic, if you will, just because of the way it was filmed and stuff.
Right.
But I was intrigued. I loved it. I loved the moves by Kato and how he looked like he was in slow motion. He was so quick.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
really awesome. And when you said Kato, I mean, it was either him or Kato Kalin, and we don't want to talk about him. So yeah, I couldn't figure it out. I was like, gosh, it's green. I was gonna say lantern, and I was like, oh, it's green. Darn it. Yeah. So yeah, good pick, man. Now I'll say this: criteria wise, Andy sent me a message, and he's like, "We picking TV shows?" And I'm like, "I'm not, but you're welcome to." So I mean, some folks out there might kind of we bend the rules all the time, man. So this is a great pick. It's nostalgic to you. It gives a great history, and that's exactly what we're about.
And it's part of a film too. It's just the Seth
right.
Rogen. Yeah, his rendition was great as well.
Yeah. I'm all for it. Good pick. So
thank you.
And Drew Ricketts, who's Link?
All right, Link. Let's hit it. Dun, 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 Indiana Jones. I was so fighting with this to be the George. He is the action hero. I mean, you think about the guy who's going to do the exploring. Like when you think of like classic adventure, it's the guy who goes to these foreign lands and he's dealing with all of this kind of stuff. The boulder scene, right? We're talking about that kind of like so many amazing things in this movie. The archaeologist, right? Every adventurer was an archaeologist, like you said earlier, Kirk. They just were digging up rocks all the time. But yeah, I mean, like this was when I think. I mean, it was just the name, Indiana Jones. Doesn't that just sound like it just brings you to nostalgia of just adventure, and action. I mean, so many great action scenes in this one, obviously, everything that we've already shared. But man, this is the Raiders of the Lost Ark. I mean, George Lucas, we're talking John. Well, I mean, again, I'm talking movie here, but the character himself, Harrison Ford, I just think about, like, could there have been anybody else who played this guy, Indiana Jones? And I just don't know if I know of a world that I want to live in where that's not the reality. This is fantastic. I mean, it comes down to his outfit, the leather jacket, the whip, the hat, everything is just iconic. And I've got to go with Indiana Jones as my Link. He's a, without a doubt, for everything we have already said about him.
Well,
we got a triple.
Yeah, triple Rushmore, man. So nice. I'm excited that you put it at Link. So I kind of think I know where you're going, George. I don't know if you probably could, if you really thought, you could figure out where I'm going for George. But Indiana Jones, the first three, fantastic. The fourth one, nostalgic to me because I got to see it with very close friends. And it was a cool time, and it was kind of a weird twist with the aliens. The last one was also kind of like a bit of a letdown for many people, but man, Temple of Doom, when he had Last Crusade with Sean Connery, that opening scene in Raiders of the Lost Ark, there's just so much that's really good with this. The action, the stunts, the taking the monkey and throwing the bag on top of it, the golden monkey idol, and trying to get that bag of dirt, and he's all like trying to get it just right. But man, this is I literally wanted to go and like travel the world and find dig up artifacts. Between this and, like you said, Jurassic Park, I want to go dig into the sand and kind of just like brushing things off, see if I can find cool stuff. I mean, there's a lot of biblical things out there still that I would love to go explore for, but I think it was mentioned earlier, they can't get paid a whole lot. But if you find it, you're gonna be paid. So his outfit, that whole thing. You know what else is fun is the Indiana Jones Lego games.
Yes,
a blast. Love those games. But anyways, Indiana Jones is number 2 for both Andy and I. We're crushing it. And that's just how we're doing things around here today. And we've already spoke about it a little bit. So do you want to add anything, fellas?
About Indiana Jones?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I mean, it's just so much to it. A lot of people didn't like the last couple of renditions. I found them extremely entertaining. I don't know. The first one I ever actually sat down and watched, I was old enough to actually, because he was throughout my whole life. I always saw him. But the first one was Raiders of the... No, not Raiders. I'm thinking The Last Crusade. The Last Crusade. It was, it had just came out in theaters. It was all over. I was like 8 years old. And I grabbed, this is the first time I ever bootleg it and the last time I ever bootlegged something. I rented it, the movie, used to be able to call the cable company. You remember those times? Yeah. And you would call and order a movie. Yeah. And I was at my uncle's house.
I got in trouble for ordering some movies like that. I'm picking on my bill.
I was at my uncle's house and I ordered the movie, but I wanted to watch it. So what I did, I put an old VHS. I don't even know what movie I erased. I just put a VHS and I recorded the whole movie.
You took the VHS and then you put the little bit of tape on the side like that.
Exactly. Well, I recorded it from the TV, so I had a bootleg, my own bootleg version of the Raiders of The Last Crusade.
These young kids don't know about that. To cover the spot that you can still keep recording.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, man.
Yeah. I also, there's a scene that has always burned in my memory, and it's from Temple of Doom. It's the monkey brains, man. It's the monkey when they eat the monkey brains out of the monkey's
people
head.
Don't believe me, and this might be one of those. What do they call it? Berenstain Bears. What do they call one of those?
The Mandela effect. Mandela.
This might be a Mandela effect, but I swear this is what we did when we went on our senior trip. We went to Disney, and we went to not Animal Kingdom, but SeaWorld. And when we got to Epcot as a teenager with a bunch of teenagers, nobody wants to be in Epcot. Now that I'm older, I definitely appreciate it. And there's way more rides now. But we the first thing that you do is you book a meal. They told us, first thing you do, go book your meal so you make sure you have a meal. So we went and we booked in Morocco. And when we rolled up there in Morocco, I swear, somebody's like, they're eating monkey brains. And I was like, what? And we left. We all of us stood up and left. Drinks on the table, didn't pay our bill, and rolled out. We went to Norway. And people, I say that story all the time, and people are like, there was no monkey brains. And there might not have been, but somebody there was like, this guy over here is eating monkey brains. We're like, we're out. We're out. Bye. But the scene that is in my brain was when the shaman is trying to take the water.
Yeah.
Today, dude, it catches fire when he goes in. Yeah, love that.
Great pick. I love this.
Bootlegger. Yeah, I've always been a bootlegger. I've got so many bootleg things. I probably when I get to see Peter at the old pearly gates, he's going to ask me, why do you have Dopesmack's movie and you didn't pay for it? I don't know. Wait, speaking of movies, now Dopesmack, we've been sharing this.
Yes.
Do we still need some biker men? Do we still need this? Need some?
We definitely do. We're gonna have to dirty you up a little bit there. Huh?
That's all right. I can wear some jacket, dirtied up. I'm ready to take a fall. Boom. I'm down, man.
You would actually get burned up. Are you okay with catching fire or not?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Hunger Games did it. Why not? Let's do it.
We'll have some extinguishers ready to go.
Nice. There we go.
We're excited, man. We've been talking about it. We brought it up. We're like, hey, just to let y'all know, we've been actually asked. It kind of joking around, but yeah.
When that happens, Kirk, we're gonna have to do a Rushmore revisited because I'm gonna have to add myself in my Rushmore of action.
Yes. Yeah.
Biker number 2.
Yes, biker number 2 is your action here.
I thought he was the George,
all right,
man.
So,
He's so great.
This is the George. The George is number 1. George Washington.
Yes.
We called him G-Dub for a little bit. Who's your number 1, Joe? This is the guy or the gal. Could be a hero, could be villain, could be somebody else. Best character from an action movie.
So, once again, it's all from my past in a way that, my Rushmores. And this character here, I remember my dad was obsessed with this movie when I was a kid. And I don't know where he got it, but he had a bootleg movie of this character. And we would watch it every single weekend when we went to my grandparents' house. That's just the movie he liked to watch. And it's actually Mad Max. Yes.
Nice.
Not the 1979 one, but the one that came out in 1981. That's the one we used to watch. And it just, man, I probably saw that movie 100 times when I was a kid. And I just recently got to watch the new version, the Fury, is it Fury Road, I think? Which I found extremely entertaining, even though not having Mel Gibson in the movie was kind of took away a little bit for me. Just Mel Gibson was just the character. It's just, you can't replace Mel.
That's right. Yeah.
I agree that you can't replace Mel, but man, he did a great job. And he's also, I can't think, his name is aside me, but he's also Bane. He also played Karsyn in that fighting prison movie. What's his name? Somebody in the comments will chat it who the new guy is, but he was Bane in Batman.
He plays Venom, right?
Yeah, it was. Well,
is he
Venom?
Yes.
He was Venom. Well, the character that plays Venom. Yeah.
Right.
That's inside Venom suit. Yeah.
Tom Hardy.
Tom
Hardy, dude, he's great, man. And
he's a great actor, for sure.
Hardy. Tom Hardy. Look, Retro Maniac says my George is Zorro. How old really are you? Like, wow. Zorro. And that I'd love to hear that story.
Antonio Banderas is Zorro.
Yeah.
Zorro we
Snake Plissken. That is a good one. Kurt Russell was amazing. Kevin, my bro Kevin from my childhood. He was on my show. He was on the show a couple weeks ago. But yeah, man, Kevin. But here's the deal. I love the old man Max. My favorite one was the Thunderdome, right, with Tina Turner.
Right.
That one I feel like it was on TBS or TNT, like on repeat for like a forever, right? Along with Beastmaster and Jason and the Argonauts, and you got Thunderdome, right? You got like these certain movies that are always on there. Conan, and I watched it a lot. I love Mad Max. And then in my older years, I was like, I don't know that I've ever watched the real Mad Maxes. And I went and watched 1 and 2. 1 was slow. Oh my! It
was really slow. Yes,
it is super slow. 2 was good. 1 was even good, but it just takes a while, man. It's like, where are we going? There's like nobody in the world. It's just like, what is it? Almost like a Castaway thing. And then you get to later in the series. I had never watched the new one. Somebody brought it up on action movies or franchises, and I was like, gosh, I gotta go watch that. One day I'm sitting in the recliner. It was there, and I was like, let's finish this thing. And I was glued. It was so good. So entertaining. Are you not entertained? Yes, I was entertained. But I'm easily entertained. Alicia is in the house. I meant to say this earlier. Alicia had said a comment up here and said hello. I love some Indiana Jones awesome movies. Alicia, welcome. I don't know if you have a wrench, but I'm going to send you one right now. Yeah, I love this. Andy, Mad Max. Was that on your minis?
Well, no, I think that you were you in the Journey's rendition of Mad Max?
I was. Good call. Dude, is there a video of that somewhere? We need to share that.
In the archives somewhere. I'm going to have to look for it.
When was that? That was after Katrina.
Well,
Right.
no, yeah. So I was at the church, so it had to be like 2015,
So
probably
I'm trying to think. We started going to the
2014,
church.
2015.
It wasn't Katrina, because Katrina's 2005. It must have been a hurricane that was like 2008-ish, 9-ish, like Gustav or something. And there was just this big disaster. And we were like cleaning up, and our pastor goes, "Hey, I got a great idea." So we all dress up. We go and grab hubcaps, and like we dress up like we're in the Mad Max world. And we all riding on the back of this truck and like going to like clean up trash. And it looked like, dude, it was a fun time. And the message that we did for that month was surrounded around Mad Max, like the end of the world, beyond the Thunderdome, that kind of thing. It was fun. That was a fun time, man. That was really fun. But
That was like when I first started coming.
I have been in a movie. Yeah. What you got? So yeah, but that was before your time, huh, Andy?
No. I was at the church when that happened, when they showed
So
that.
that was supposed to have been when you were just kind of getting there.
That's what I'm saying. It had to be 14 or 15. It had to be, because it was literally, I was there. But
so it
yeah,
was
anyway.
right after a hurricane. I remember that. So whatever hurricane came out around then, I would assume would have been the one. So awesome. Mad Max, great pick. Top of the George.
Gotta knock him out the park.
Max Romo Gotsky or something like that, his real name. I remember seeing it because I put him on my vengeance. So he's there.
Nice.
Jay Thompson is in the house. Jay, I'm adding you as a moderator. That's Boggs' internet dad, I guess he calls him. That flipper dude. Hey, look, I sent you a message earlier. We'd love to have you on the show, man. This is Keith's at Pick and Preacher. This is his co-host. So that flipper dude, his daughter plays softball and stuff too. My daughter's down in Florida playing softball right now. Alicia, sending one your way right now. Rich and everybody go sub and follow everybody, support everybody. We're a great community. You stay here, we'll support you back. So not necessarily sub for sub. If you sub, go and actually watch and do something at their place so it actually locks and sticks. Send a like or two. I think we were at 888, Andy.
889 as of right now.
I don't know if we've gotten any today, but
we did. We're at 889.
889. Let's keep that train going. We're 111 away. Let's go. 111. So, all right, Andy, who's your George? Who's your top of the mountain?
This was easy. There was no real thought that had to go into this. Come out to the coast. We'll get together, have a few laughs. Give me John McClane, Die Hard. There was no doubt he's the number one. And I just saw who just listed Random Rips. It's your number one as well. That would be a Rushmore with me. Dude, Die Hard is fantastic. Yippee-ki-yay,
Summit Squad.
Summit Squad. You've seen that. It's been down here the whole time. I can't point when I'm on these things, but there it is. Yippee-ki-yay, Summit Squad. It had to be John McClane. This is the guy. This has lasted. And what I'll say about this too, Bruce Willis, man, we need to be that he's going through it right now. He's got a lot of health stuff.
I'll say
not
this,
looking.
Andy, we have been known to be a jinx to people, and this is one of those ones I wouldn't even be like, yeah, he's on the downward trend. He's really sick. And I don't usually pray for people I don't know, but since this has come up, I will definitely be praying for him tonight and in my thoughts, because every time I see him, he just gets worse and worse and worse and worse. And I mean, started at Moonlighting, wasn't really even an action guy, jumps into action. Fantastic pick, Andy, right here. I probably would have him on my mountain, but I knew he was your George, and I was trying to figure out and finagle a way to say more than what I'm saying. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to let Andy have him. He would have probably been my 4 at one time. And then I brought Neo in, and I was like, yeah, Neo.
Yeah. So what I'll say though about John McClane though actually started as a novel character in Nothing Lasts Forever, which is the basis for the original Die Hard film, which came out in 1988. He's a New York police officer. He's kind of that guy that doesn't really play by the rules. If you had a career like John McClane, dude, hang it up. I mean, at this point, like, bro, just trouble keeps finding. But over time, it got more and more ridiculous. What I will say, though, and again, I'm not picking movies here, but With a Vengeance is my favorite of the Die Hard movies. Number 3, Samuel L. Jackson, the school, the mining, underground, all that kind of stuff. That's probably my favorite Die Hard. Probably Die Hard 1 is going to be everybody's go-to nostalgia classic. And I'm here to say it, guys. This is not what tonight's about. Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. And I've said it, and boom, I've left it out there. I don't even care if the creator, the director, I don't even care what they say. It's not a Christmas movie. I'm just going to share
this with you. Die Hard is not only a Christmas movie, it's a Halloween movie, it's an Easter movie, it's a 4th of July movie, it's a New Year's movie. You watch that movie whenever you want. It's fantastic.
No, you can watch it whenever. I'm just saying it is not in the Christmas movie repertoire. It should not be. You could separate Christmas from that movie, and it's the exact same movie.
No, it wouldn't, because it would be at a different place.
It doesn't matter. The Christmas
party
is not central.
Look, we're not going to fight about this. We've already fought about this more than once.
They do play Christmas music in there, so
it is absolutely
whatever. You can put whatever in it,
and it's movie. Just like Gremlins is a Christmas movie, 100%.
Not a Christmas movie. Yeah.
Yes, it is. See, the thing is, the problem with people saying it's a Christmas movie is that it has to be.
It happens. It's a movie that takes place during Christmas, which is not a Christmas movie.
Okay. And
boom.
You've sold me over.
By definition, it is a Christmas movie. By definition. You said it.
Anyway,
I love it. John McClane, great character. My favorite scene. Look, this was one of my dad's favorite movies. My favorite scene in this movie, other than the Yippee-Ki-Yay, which he takes every movie, is when he, in the very first one, he loses his shoes. He's running on like glass. He's like bleeding to death. He runs and jumps off the building with a fire hose and swings that Joker back in, smashes through. Dude, he is like awesome, right? It's one of those things, man. It's just like, if I wanted to play a character, I definitely would want to play this character.
Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That was one of the reasons I wanted to have him on, because I feel like John McClane had so much fun. Like
right.
Bruce Willis playing John McClane. You know what I'm saying? Good movie. Good pick.
Yeah, it's all that Christmas stuff aside. This is
Andy,
fantastic movie. I
you'll
love
appreciate this comment.
Go back to pilot episode, and you will hear us talk about
the episode when we were just throwing a tester out. We did Christmas movies, and Andy had Jingle All the Way on it.
Turbo Man. I also had Terminator today, so there's full circle.
Gremlins is because Gizmo is a gift in the center of the whole plot. Okay.
He's got a point.
I didn't say anything about Gremlins. I'm just talking about this movie.
Right.
There's an equal argument because it's a horror movie. Here's the deal. That Flipper dude, man, did you see my comment? Yeah, we want to have you on the show, bro. And we're booking for sports next. We've had everybody booked for nostalgia, by the way. We'll send a graphic out soon of everybody that's coming up. We finally finished and locked everybody in. We got a wrestler coming on. We have a couple video game guys, a couple guys we met from the conventions. It's going to be a blast. Oh, Smash, who's in the comments, he's going to be on that way. I got to point that way because we're opposite. But anyways, I'll go with my George, I guess. And, oh, shoot. I had to do something, and it's not as climactic, as it was going to be. My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius, commander of the armies in the north, general of the Felix legions, and loyal servant to the true emperor Marcus Aurelius, father to a murdered son, husband to a murdered wife, and I will have my vengeance in this life or the next. The Gladiator, Maximus Decimus Meridius, named my dog after him. Max, I love this movie. it is way up there in my favorite movies. It's always going to be on my mountain. Might not be my number one anymore, but it was number one for a very long time. I loved watching this movie. I love Russell Crowe play in this movie. Never really saw him as an action guy until this movie. I love the whole fighting the lions and just the whole thing. I kind of love historical movies when they're more dramatic and not like, I'm not a big documentary guy, so this kind of like brought to light, even loosely based on that story of like old Roman Empire, old Greece, stuff like that. But I cannot say enough about this. When he goes to the afterlife and he's kind of walking through the flowers to see his wife, it pulls my heartstrings. It's a tearjerker. I almost had it on inspirational movies, but I couldn't figure out what I was going to say other than I cried. I love this movie. The Gladiator, Maximus Decimus Meridius, the George, number one.
Yes, yeah, I knew that was yours. I gave it to you because I knew that. Honestly, I put it in my Benjamins. I knew it was going to get taken by you. This is when you rank guy movies. You know, if you're a guy and you don't have Gladiator at least on your list somewhere, you know, hand over your card. I don't know. I mean, it's such a good movie, and obviously this, Russell Crowe, the whole deal. This is just a fantastic pick. It's one of the most manly of all characters for sure that's out there, and the whole concept of Gladiator and that whole idea is a great film. Honestly, it's probably, what is the Rotten Tomatoes for Gladiator? Like that's got to be up there. I know we're always.
It's got to be way up there.
It's got to be like 90s. It's for sure in the 90s, if not, yeah, it's up there. But yeah, great pick, man. Joe, you like Gladiator?
Well, I never liked Russell until I saw the Gladiator, and I was like, okay, well maybe I can give this guy a chance. I can't even name one of the movies before that I was like, oh man,
before that was all kind of drama, but after that he's done some great stuff. Master and Commander. Yeah. Beautiful Mind.
Beautiful Mind was good. Yeah.
You ever watch Noah?
Never saw Noah.
Noah was a great movie, except that it was not biblical. That's the only.
Yeah, I know. It was just a really cool movie.
It was a really cool movie, but it's not biblical at all. Hey, Gladiator, 80% for the
tomato meter.
Of the people with their nose in the air. 80%. Audience score 87% with over 250,000 ratings.
I thought we'd be in the 90s.
I would have thought it'd be in the
90s.
Yep. See what the IMDb. IMDb 8.5, 85. So
85. It's in that. I mean, that's still high. It is.
Oh, it's still high. Oh yeah, Cinderella Man. Almost. We pre-recorded next week. Guys, and the week after. So DJ Wise, who's been in the comments, he is doing Disney television shows because my daughter is doing sports movies. Now there's a little bit of a twist. We've already done baseball movies, basketball movies, and football movies, so we put a little twist on it. So we're doing sports movies next week, and it's been pre-recorded. So Andy is putting that out on Friday, guys. And I see Flipper Dude says Cinderella Man. And this nearly made my list we filmed it like 2 weeks ago, but next week. So make sure you guys coming back and check that out on Friday night. So yeah, man. He killed it on Gladiator for sure. Yeah, he killed a lot of things on Gladiator.
No.
Oh, so that's our mountain for today, but we are not done. Don't leave yet. 16 bros in the house. Make sure we're smashing that like button as I'm getting ready to smash our little thing to go to All About the Benjamins. Let's get it. If you've never been here before, this is our second part of the mountain. Now, it is widely believed, can't get it proven, but it's believed, that they were trying to get a fifth guy on the mountain. It wasn't going to be Trump or Obama. It was originally going to be apparently Benjamin Franklin, which is interesting. So we call our honorable mentions kind of the fifth and above kind of Benjamins. And so our Benjamins today is a little game we play. We do a little snake draft like we are in the NFL or Major League, but we cannot pick any movie that has already been said today, Joe. Not one, or we can pick a movie. We just can't pick a character. Like maybe another person from that movie, but we cannot pick any of those guys. And whenever you mention one, you got first pick. We can't pick that guy. So you're first, Andy's second, I'm third, but here's the catch. Second round, we go the other direction. Third round, we go back this direction, so you get back-to-back picks. And in fourth, we go this way. So I got 2 back-to-back picks, and you have the final pick of the draft. Now, we don't usually talk a whole ton about this. The show is getting a little lengthy, but we have time. And so let's chat about your honorable mention. Who's the first person you think should make the mountain that didn't make the mountain, Joe?
Frank Dukes.
You!
Bloodsport.
Kumite!
Yeah. Okay.
Somebody mentioned
I knew that was
him,
happening.
Kumite.
Yeah.
Now,
That's a great one.
wink, wink. That's a sports movie. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
but it's got too much action.
Oh, it's for short action.
No explosions. It's just straight fighting. But
Listen, that scene when he is fighting the champ and he gets the sand thrown in his eyes, it's all like he's doing the split kicks.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll say this. My little guy was just in here. We were talking about watching things too early. My little guy was just in here. When COVID happened, Bloodsport was on Netflix or something. And I have video out. If you guys want to see the video, it's on my Facebook. It's on my Instagram or whatever. Come and friend me. You can definitely see it. It's awesome. Cannon is now 9. So this was, 4 years ago? So he's like 5.
Oh, wow.
We set up the Kumite in our living room. And we're watching this movie. And I completely forgot that there's a sex scene. I completely forgot how much cursing's in it. I knew there was blood, obviously, blood sport. So I kind of warned him, look, it's kind of bloody, but you're going to love it. It's really fighting. And he was into fighting right then. I was like,
Right.
And I'm like, oh, fast forward. Oh, fast forward. I'm like, oh, cover your ears. I didn't realize how much it had, but man, he loved that movie. He's doing tumbles and fighting and kicking. He's fighting like the French guy and it's awesome. But Bloodsport's one of my favorite movies, bro.
No,
Andy,
for sure.
what's your next movie? Your next movie on the Benjamins? The next character.
So Random Rips just mentioned it that we've not picked a female. I'm not going to pick Ripley, but give me the bride from Kill Bill, Uma Thurman. I love Kill Bill. Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2. Uma Thurman kills it. It kills a lot of things in that movie. But yeah, give me the bride. Honestly, hot take. Pulp Fiction is a great movie. I think Kill Bill is my favorite Quentin Tarantino movie. I mean, I just do. I think it's that good. So 1 and 2.
I love Kill Bill, and I saw this. I didn't know you'd rank it that high, but I knew you'd have it on the Benjamins. I didn't know you'd pull it off this soon. So that's a cool pick. I'm gonna go with 2 amazing bangers, action guys. Right, number 1 just redid a movie from my childhood. I'm going Maverick, Top Gun, baby, dude. You want to talk about getting the feels? Watch the first one, and then go watch the second one. I'm all about Top Gun, especially this last one with Teller. Then I'm going to jump into the next one. Goose made me cry. I almost did that one for an inspirational movie too, but I was like, trying to twist it. And then I'm going to go back. I said, this guy, I could have did a whole mountain with just this guy's characters. I'm going with John Wick. And they just put number 4 out. This guy went absolutely bananas because of his dog getting killed. This dude is legit. If you haven't watched John Wick, let me tell you, be ready for some action. Bro, John Wick. And that's the movie I was kind of talking about. He is not Bill and Ted anymore. Go watch John Wick and see what you think. I mean, it's bro.
All right. Well, So this one's going to go a little out of my standard repertoire of movies as far as time. It's 1971 this movie comes out, but my dad is a big fan of this guy. I'm a huge fan of the actor who plays this one, and I can't believe we made it all the way through this one without saying this quote. Did he fire 6 shots or 5? Well, to tell you the truth, in all this excitement, I kind of lost track myself. But being this is a 44 Magnum, the most powerful handgun in the world, it would blow your head clean off. You got to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you? Punk. Yeah, Dirty Harry had to make the list. Yeah, this Clint Eastwood, I mean, fantastic. My dad's a big, big fan. You know, the good, bad, the ugly, all those different things that with Eastwood in
So,
it.
let me ask you
You know,
this.
obviously, these newer things that he's put out, you know, later on directing and $1 Million Baby and gosh, just Gran Torino, like
Gran
all of these are
Torino.
great ones. Yeah, but it comes back to Dirty Harry for me.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question. So my dad liked Clint, but he liked Bronson, like Charles Bronson.
Yeah.
And so Bronson was on my house all the time, but I'm not a huge fan. So somebody out there might put him on the mountain as well. But to me, when Clint was it was Bronson in my house happening. So
Yeah.
got a good crowd here. Yeah, Pick and Preacher. Everybody, shout out to Pick and Preacher. You're pseudo on my show or our episode tomorrow. I won a Wii on his show. Go over there. You can win some prizes. The dude just got him a Panzer Dragoon Saga from Sega CD. He's been trying to do that challenge. Go check his stuff out. He's one of our favorite bros. He's going to do a couple of Nerd in the Words with us. Man, and I'm going to see you at Siege. That's Blocky Kid's dad. So, yeah, go check him out. Everybody, like I said, go sub everybody. Do it now. You're up, Joe. You get 2 picks. The end of the second, beginning of the third.
All right. Well, I can't go, back from, 97 when I was just really into the show. And then they came with a live action X-Men movie. Wolverine was just, I was always, yes. So, his character is just so raw and he just don't care about anything, I guess it's mean. And man, I just loved every second of watching any other movies that Wolverine and having what's the name of the actor? I can't think of his name.
Hugh Jackman.
Why can't I? Oh my God! I mean, he's
a
just
cool name, man. I was like Huge Jackman. Dude, Hugh Jackman.
He just turned into Wolverine, and it's like if they keep saying that they want other actors to play it and all that. I'm like, it's just not going to be the same. They might do a good job, but to me, Hugh Jackman playing Wolverine was the thing.
I would have picked Hugh Jackman, but again, in the beginning,
right,
Wolverine was like a comic book first, so that was kind of part of my criteria. It would have made it much harder if I had all the superheroes involved, because I don't know that I could get out of here without being just straight Marvel and DC, which we've already done that show. So I was kind of trying to I don't want to do that. So,
and then Hugh Jackman. Well, I was gonna say real quick, Hugh Jackman. We think of Wolverine, obviously, but then you see him acting like the Greatest Showman, and you're like, bro, you're supposed to be the Wolverine. What are you doing, dancing and singing?
Yeah.
What's going on?
He lost all the muscles and everything. It's like, man, what happened?
And you hear him talking, he's got a British accent. You're like, what in the world?
How about rolling with this guy too? Now that's rated R, but like Wolverine's coming out, and I did a short. Guys, go check the short out. Go watch it a bazillion times, all the shorts. But I did a short for you, and it was actually Wolverine and Deadpool. That was fun. So, who's your next one?
Did we say Rocky Balboa yet? I don't think we did.
No,
he did not.
No. Yeah, because he was on my list, and I'm just Rocky Balboa was, you can't say enough about Rocky. It's epic.
Underdog story.
It's the underdog story, and and he is one of the biggest inspirations of my filmmaking career because of the way that Sylvester Stallone works. You know, whenever he made Rocky, he was a nobody that nobody wanted to fund his movie, you know, and he was like, yo, I'm gonna do everything. I'm a direct, I'm a act, and I'm a, you know, and he just blew up and became an icon, you know, to our culture. And then,
This
you know,
is Sparta. Flipper dude coming.
this is Sparta. Oh, that's a good one.
We mentioned 300 and more movies and stuff. Yeah. Ash says he's glad Rocky's in. What does this say? I always thought Glenn Danzig should have played
Wolverine.
him.
That would have been a different take on Wolverine.
That would be cool. That would have been cool. Rambo.
Mother.
Don't give look. But Andy, you're up, man. Who you got?
All right. So this is a pick that I think that Kirk could potentially, at least maybe, was on his list somewhere along the lines. And we're going another great film score, but give me Jack Sparrow. Jack Sparrow, Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yes, it was on mine. 100% my next pick.
Yeah, Jack Sparrow. All of these movies are great.
He's not going to take Pirates. He knows that's my jam. He knows
I had to do it.
Dude,
this
Pirates,
is a game.
Dude, if you're not into Pirates, I don't know. I haven't got no time for you. Pirates is it's on my franchises for sure. Pirates of the Caribbean. I will say this: Johnny
Great
Depp
song.
is on my mountain for sure. Nobody can play his character. He can't play many other characters, but nobody can play his character. Nobody.
Yeah, it's anyway. So Jack is just a great career. That just spans the whole series of Pirates, and he's another one where if they were to ever recast, I just don't. Nobody can play Jack Sparrow. He's the only. In fact, so much so that they've added him to the ride in Disney. You know what I mean? Like he's Jack Sparrow. Like that's
right.
it.
Which that in itself is really, really cool. Right.
Yeah.
Now, for my next one, I'm gonna pull up another quote for you, and kind of tell it to you. See what you think. All right, you ready? Because I want to nail it right. Here we go.
The anticipation.
I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want. If you are looking for a ransom, I can tell you I don't have money. But what I do have are a very particular set of skills. Skills I have acquired over a very long career. Skills that make me a nightmare for people like you. If you let my daughter go now, that'll be the end of it. I will not look for you. I will not pursue you. But if you don't, I will look for you. I will find you. And I will kill you. Brian Mills from Taken. 100% love the Taken series, the whole thing. And I can't believe this guy's still left. I'm going to throw him out there and grab him, man, because I was going to go girl here. And I just realized this guy's still out there. Jason Bourne, the Bourne series. Going with Bourne Identity, man. Jason Bourne. Yes, sir. Yeah. I love my mountain. I love what I finished. That's good stuff. Andy, you're up, man.
So here's my last one. And this is where I cheat, and it's fun.
You always cheat on ground floor of the Bennies. Go ahead.
So here it is. This isn't even a real movie. So here's why it's so funny. If you know me, you know one of my biggest loves in life, and I'm back rewatching it for the 58th time. The Office. But there's an action movie that Michael Scott writes called Threat Level Midnight. So my last one is Michael Scarn, the lead actor, played by Michael Scott, in his own movie Threat Level Midnight, which is so funny because here's the deal.
So perfect.
It happens in season 2 where they find the script and they read it and it's just having fun. But in season 7, episode 17, the whole episode is the movie Threat Level Midnight, and it plays the whole thing with Golden Face and with everyone. This had to be my pick. This had to be my last pick. Michael Scarn in threat level midnight. If you look it up online, there's literally, and I want to buy you see my Kiss pictures, and my Jesus isn't coming down, right? But one of these Kiss guys is going to come down. So, birthday's happening in August. There's a movie poster for Threat Level Midnight, like a legitimate movie poster that I want to purchase. That is definitely going to go up here in the background.
Nikki, this is on my mountain. There's a lot of Stallone movies that are still out there. This is definitely one. One of the reasons I love this movie is because of Stallone's name, Lincoln Hawk. Dude, it sounds like a wrestler, but he's arm wrestling. But it sounds like he's a part of the Legion of Doom, man. Yeah, Lincoln Hawk. Let's go. Anyways, all right, finish our mountain up, Joe, and we are gonna bid adieu to our fans.
All right. So the name of this character, and I had to look it up because even though I watched the movie a million times, I forgot. I never really caught the name of the character. His name is Douglas Quaid in Total Recall.
Yes, Quaid. Yes.
Oh my God. Total Recall just blows it out the park when it comes to weird ass science fiction. I say that in a weird ass accent with it. So I love Arnold. Talking
about movies we shouldn't have watched. There's a specific scene in this movie that is, I'll never forget it for the rest of my life. I'll never forget this movie.
Is it the same scene I'm thinking of?
Well, yeah, they add an appendage.
Yes,
that's a different one.
That's a different one. No, but I'm thinking of the scene where what's he say? Like, how long are you going? 2 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. 8 weeks. And it's like, dude, oh my gosh.
Dude, if we go to Mars, dude, I'm scared. I mean, this is what I'm thinking of. Yeah, it's a great movie.
The way he just like at the end.
Many other movies. I have a very long list, fellas. All my fans out there. Oh, my fans, our fans. You're just my fans. All of our fans out there. I'll put my after this thing kind of updates and whatever. I'll submit the list that I'm running with. But I got a lot, man. Just go to the stars, Stallone's and Schwarzenegger, Harrison Ford, and Denzel Washington never got mentioned. Yeah. Hey, Misadventures of Team AJ. Hey, listen, I'm going to be honest, guys. Misadventures, this was probably the show we were trying to get you guys to come and hang out with, is probably around this time frame. We still want to have you on when you get free. We just booked up Nostalgia. Sports is coming up. And then we're doing food and back to video games in the beginning of the year. But, man, Misadventures of Team AJ. Let me throw you a wrench. Everybody go and sub them. They're a great New Orleans. They do a lot of New Orleans culture and stuff. They come to the conventions all the time. Welcome to the show, AJ. You guys are awesome. But, hey, you've come to the end of the show. And so I sent you a wrench, AJ. But you've come into the show. This is how we always finish it up. First and foremost, thank you, everybody that's been in the chat. You guys make this a blessing. When we first started the Rushmore Show, it was just me and Andy. I was literally sitting in my closet recording, and I came out the closet, and look, we are having fun. It's all about how we can impact people and hang out with people, build the community, and just share, just some fun times over pop culture. And if you guys ever need us, literally ever need us for whatever, be on your show. If you want to be on our show, message us in the DMs and in the socials. Go find us in all the socials. All the socials are down there. Everybody go and like and subscribe to all of them, please. It helps the algorithm and all that stuff. And let you guys know when the shows, hit the bell, all that. If you've hung out this long, 16, 13, 15 friends, yeah, kind of go do all that for us. Samaritan was a cool movie. Underrated. Very underrated. But I'll post my picks. I'm sure Andy sometimes posts his picks. Joe, if you got any extra picks, you can post them as well. Joe, speaking of you, thank you for being on the show. This is actually your third time or fourth time being on the show because we've had you for a few shorts. Those shorts have been interviewing Joe at the conventions. Joe is, just to catch you guys up, Joe is a creator. He is he's got a YouTube channel. He has a lot of socials. He is building the character Dopesmack. Dopesmack is his design. It's what he does, and he's doing it so much that he has made a comic book. Issue 2 is coming out shortly, and issue 1's already out there. And make sure you go to Dark Atom Studios to find all that, as well as he's filming a movie. So there it is. There it is. Joe, this is your time, man. Let everybody know where they can find you and what you got coming up. You got some conventions they can come find you at. Whatever you got going on, let them know. And tell everybody good night, bro.
All right. Well, first of all, thank you all for having me on the show, man. This was fun. I'm so glad I got to meet you guys, and I love the work you are doing. If you know, like everybody knows Dopesmack, or if you haven't heard of Dopesmack, it's a film that I wrote that I'm working on that I turned into a comic book, and you can find it at darkatomstudios.com, or just search for Dopesmack anywhere on social media. I'm not on Discord. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. And I'm active on all the platforms. You can hit me up if you got any questions. If you want to get a copy, I have merchandise on the website. I have anywhere from T-shirts like this one. This is my favorite T-shirt, by the way. All the way to cups to upcoming issues.
You got some cool coffee cups I saw this week, huh?
Yes, and I don't have one with me right now, but oh man, I just designed those, and I have a lot more things I'm gonna add to the website. I'm looking into doing my first little action hero of Dopesmack, because every single kid that comes to the table is like, "Hey, where's the action heroes? The action figures?" And I was like,
I'm that little kid. I'm that little kid.
Exactly.
Funko.
And I also have, I'm expanding the universe. I have more characters that I'm working on. And I think when you read issue 2, you will kind of get a broader look of what the universe of Dark Atom Studios and Dopesmack is going to be. So
love it, man.
So just a 3 sentence for the friends that maybe just showed up. What's the mini plot? What is Dopesmack?
So Dopesmack follows the story of a kid named Alex Santos from New Orleans who witnesses his father's murder by the hand of a narco. So he grows up with a vendetta against dope dealers and vows to bring them down with the fist of justice. And that's where the name Dopesmack comes from. Boom.
Nice.
Everybody out there, 14, 15, 16 of you, go follow him. Go follow the journey. He's done a couple Kickstarters. We see him at the conventions. I have some of his cards. I've got his first book. Do you have any more of those special books still?
The special edition books. Which
he has
is
like
funny,
5 limited edition special editions. How many you got left?
It's 25 of them. I've sold 6 of them. They come in a box like this.
Yeah. Andy, this is your purchase right here, buddy.
I know. Yeah. I need to.
So it's
What's up?
I love this thing.
In the house.
It comes with everything.
My buddy Farrell called Rad Bash Rash on accident last night, and I love it. Rash and Rush, man. But Rad Bash, welcome to the channel. Rad Bash runs Super Retro Force, and he is a video game bro. He's got tons of video game friends. He's been on the show in the video game time. He'll come back again with his Super Retro Force, but he's got like 3-4 channels running. He's playing games. He's doing other things. Go follow Rad Bash for sure. You guys all got wrenches. Go ahead. So, Andy, we're going to say something?
I'm just looking forward to being a biker. That's really all I am.
This is what I'm looking forward to.
Yes.
I always wanted to be like rich and famous, and I've been working on my signature because I thought I was going to play third base for the Yankees. Now I'm going to be signing at conventions because I was biker number 1.
Biker number 1.
Biker number 2, and I'm ready to do that Joker. Let's do it. Yeah.
It'll be fun.
Yeah. So for anybody out there, we kind of tongue-in-cheek joked around, said, can we be in the movie at one of the conventions. He's like, man, I need 2 bikers. You guys look like bikers. So whatever, man. If it happens, that'd be awesome. It would be great. But hey, this is the Rushmore Show, bro. We welcome and we love everybody. We try not to have any drama. We try and give a nice family G-rated thing. Sometimes we say some other stuff, kind of go off the cuff. This is who we are. Welcome, Summit Squad. One last Summit Squad for you guys, for all the new folks. With that being said, let me share what's coming up, and it's time to go home. Tomorrow I have an unboxing video. Here was the first little box, and so I won some cards over it. Some friends, you guys, I ripped the cards. That's slang if you're not in the card community for opening the packs. We rip those packs open and we kind of go through them and I show them off with Canon, Retro Canon. Speaking of that, if you're out there, go follow Retro Canon and Girl Dad. That's our kids' channels, and they're doing great things and fun things too. But I won a few prizes being in the other people communities, and we need to start getting our prizes going again. But that happens tomorrow. Please, guys, go and support that. It really helps the algorithm. We haven't done a short video in a while. We'll see how this goes. I think it runs about 28 minutes. Even if you don't watch the whole thing, put it on fast forward. We're trying to hit those markers. We're almost to that 1,000 watches or subs, and I think we're pushing the envelope on about 2,000 watch hours. We're trying to get at least to the 3,000, which is the first benchmark, and 4,000 is the second. So if you guys go watch our old stuff, that would be fantastic. I saw Alicia posted. She's sad she missed the horror. Go watch it, man. We got horror movies and we got horror TV. Go check that out. Dylan in the house. You got to get that rewatch gang up. Davey Lusco in the house. Rewatch gang. Go back and rewatch this thing. It was a blast with our buddy Joe Mexican.
Hey, Kirk, real quick. Let me just say this. Dylan, you're in this. You're in here right now. I'm calling you out, man. I'm calling you out. Just wait. You got something coming your way. We got camp coming up in just a couple days, man. Yeah, you thought you were going to get off easy. It's not happening. Yeah. All right, back to you, Kirk.
Yeah, I'm backing my boy. I'm backing him. I'm not going, but I'm backing him. Yeah. I'm going to camp, but for children's camp. We're going to children's camp. We're the defending champions. We're going to go into
you don't want to mess with it, man. You ain't scared? Yeah, that's because you're.
So here's the thing. Tomorrow, unboxing video. Next Friday, a pre-record. If you guys know, before January, everything we did was pre-recorded. We do a lot of edits, fun stuff, put a lot of fun things in there. Go check that out. Top 4 sports movies ever. Support that, please. Gosh, please support that. And on top of that, the next week is also pre-recorded because Andy's at camp, and then he's going on vacation to come visit me. And that day is my anniversary, and it's his daughter's birthday. So we're probably going to be out to dinner while that thing drops. But we had DJ Wise on, which is James. He's one of the bros from the card community and Paul in the 619 and all that. He's going to be on the show. You saw Crafts with Bethany down. That's his wife. He's going to be on the show. We did Disney TV. Then we're going to finish up with our movies and television with General Kenobi's Bunker. We're going to do Top 4 Jedi. We have already enlisted all our folks for next month. And it's going to be a great show. We got both the Coreys, hopefully Clifton from Poliquin. They're going to come on. And if I remember correctly, they're doing discontinued snacks because this is nostalgia month. We've got BK Toys coming on to do a pre-record. We're going to do fast food toys like from your childhood, man. We're going to do we have a wrestler coming on. He hasn't picked his topic, but it'll be inside the wrestling sphere. We've got Smash, who's right down there in the comments. He's coming on. We're going to do big men in wrestling. So all those big bros that are 6, 7, 8 foot, that's we're going to do that. And then we've got a couple other people sprinkled in there. I know I'm missing them. We had Logan from the Hilt. He was on here earlier. I don't think we picked a topic with him yet. We've got Spine Ticks, who's going to be at the end of August. We've got lots of friends, man. We're gonna have a blast. So all of July and all of August is nostalgia. If you're a sports person and you want to jump in on the sports Rushmores, we haven't booked them yet. I'll start booking them probably next month. Those will be in September and October. Dylan's always on the show. Dylan, you're welcome to come back. We'd love to have you. Flipper Dude, we'd love to have you if you're a sports guy. Anybody that's sports out there, you're welcome. Hit that thing up in the DMs. And the last thing I'll share, anybody who has ever been a host on the show, I'm attempting to do, in the very beginning, we actually had like a group DM on the Facebook. I'm attempting, they're called broadcast channels now. I'm attempting to grab one of those just to keep you guys up. The Rushmore of Alabama football. Listen, I don't like Alabama, but I can still give you the Rushmore of. I can still do it. I can do it. But, yeah, I'll hate every minute. I mean, yeah. But I can still do it. I mean, I can still do the Rushmore of Red Sox and the Rushmore of Falcons, too. I hate those guys, too. But, yeah, Broncos. Yeah, I hate all them. But, yeah, we could do that. That's even a fun idea. That's a fun topic. And then I have to get another bro to come on, and we'll do the Rushmore of LSU, Andy.
I wouldn't mind that at all. I don't not like LSU.
I know you don't mind that.
I would call out. I would call out if we had to do an Auburn one, though. I would call out of the show.
Oh, you're checking out?
If we had to do a War Eagle, if we had to do War Eagle, I'd be out of here.
I'm not an Auburn fan either. I want to do the Rushmore of Falcons. Zach, you're on for Rushmore of Falcons. Yeah.
Oh God, that's horrible.
Saints fans here. And but yeah, Zach, you're welcome, bro. Let's go. And the other Zach also is from the Atlanta area, I believe. Right? So, Miss Rhonda, you disappoint. What are you doing? What are you doing, Miss Rhonda? Oh gosh.
That's what I'm talking about.
What
I'll always support Louisiana RetroCon. It's ran by some Roll Tiders. That's what I'm talking about.
Listen, we always know who we need to lock the doors. Yeah, anyways.
Check out Dylan.
UGA, man. UGA, I'm right down the road. Zach,
Dylan said I had a student show up in an Auburn shirt this Wednesday and almost had to kick her out of youth group.
Hey, Miss Rhonda, you're from Alabama. One of the reasons Andy is an Alabama fan is because his wife's family is from out there, right, Andy?
My father-in-law's side is all Alabama.
Yeah. So it is very well known. My Rushmore of I cannot ever cheer for Alabama, Red Sox, Falcons, and that fourth one depends on the day. Depends on what's going on. Sometimes it's the Lakers, sometimes it's the Cowboys. But those three are always
out the chop. At least she's throwing out the chop. Oh, Seminoles. There we go.
I mean, I don't hate the Seminoles. My daughter's actually going to FSU camp next week for softball. Hook 'em horns, bro. Flipper Dude. They disappointed. I want them to take that crown from OU. Hey, speaking of Flipper Dude's daughter just graduated, or she's getting done, finished her last softball game ever. I am here to tell you, my daughter, hey, good news. 17 people in the chat, which is perfect. That's her number. They're doing the rankings right now, Andy, for her next year's ranking. And I know that she's going to be in the top. And what's up, Gabby? Gabby's one of my students as well. I will say this: she's at least in the top 50 because we've already eliminated the first 50, and I know that she's on the list somewhere, so she's going to be at least in the top 50 in her age group in the country for her position for an infielder, as an infielder. So so be praying for that because I'm hoping that goes even further down the road. I'm crying for you, man, Steve. I'm crying for you. I'll be so sad when that day is over. So, all right, guys. With that being said, it is time to end this party. We've had so much fun. We just broke the 2-hour mark a little while ago. Nostalgia's coming up. All those things are coming up. And Andy, we spent a lot of time with our friends. Thank you. This means nothing without you guys. We decided to go live, and it's been a blast. We'll see you guys next Friday, but not live. And then we'll be back live again in 3 weeks. 3 weeks. Don't lose us in 3 weeks, please. Go check us out. Help the algorithm. Push that thing so we can get to the monetization, so we can stop chasing subs. It's crazy. Hate it. So, anyways, Andy, I think it's time to tell our friends good night.
Well, let's say goodnight like we always do. This is the Rushmore Show, where it's all about your top 4
and nothing more.
Peace.